La, la. Okay, hey, what's up, you guys? So here we are. It is chimp time. Okay, so here we are. We are hanging out tonight. We're gonna have a rollicking time, and the theme tonight is one that is incredibly stressful. Incredibly stressful. It has been an incredibly stressful couple of weeks. Lots and lots and lots of stuff happening. South Africa was burning down. I didn't have electricity for like a week. And I wore a shirt today because Stephan is on holiday. So I felt that, you know what, I need to like dress it up just a little bit for purposes of the show. But yeah, we are out there hanging tonight. We've got some new blood with us as well. And yeah, we're going to have a good time. So it seems as though there might be a slight problem with the sound. I think it's sorted out. And yeah, let's just say hello to who's here in the zoo. Starting out, of course, with Danny boy, your dragon's calling.
Hey,
Daniel Govar, ladies and gentlemen. How are you?
I missed that.
Hello. Hope everybody's well.
Yes. You are now speaking to the hand of Daniel Govar. Yes.
That is my hand. Yes.
Dan, is that a completed dragon? Is that a completed dragon?
Yeah, I actually have. I usually have at least 1 or 3 dragons. Like I'm drawing at the same time. So
yeah,
you know,
one or 300.
It's like,
yeah, ready.
Ghidorah. Yeah. But I'm gonna do one. Actually, I'm gonna let everybody pick which color dragon I do.
Okay, just for that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to give Dan a handicap, but we're going to tell you more about that momentarily. Of course, there is a brand new chimp on the branch with us tonight. I've been trying for a while to convince this particular individual to hang out with us, and that, of course, is Jesse. Oh, Jesse.
Hi, Jesse.
Hello. Right. Just okay. So we were having a debate earlier, Robo, Robbie, and I. So is it Oxa or Oxe?
Generally people just say Ush, but it's a German pronunciation. So I guess it would be more proper to say Oxa. But locally everyone just says Ush. So yeah.
So both of you guys are wrong.
Yeah. So yes.
Thank you, Paul. And of course, we have the showcase of my shame, Paul Limgenco, because that's how it's pronounced. My brother Paul, how are you doing, my man?
I'm good, thanks. Sorry to hear that South Africa was burning down in a fire, but I hope it stays calm, even though who knows what will happen. But I hope everything is fine now, or better. Everything improves from now on.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I think that's pretty much all of us. It has been a crazy time, but you know what? The South African spirit is strong. It's strong, and as a result, then I'm sure like hashtag Google. But you know what? Like it's we're gonna talk more about that slightly later. But now I want to get to just a couple of apologies over here. So guys, I know that we're expecting Ray. We're also expecting Tony, we're expecting Mike. So Mike's going to probably join us slightly later. Tony is definitely going to join us later. Tony had to go to the dentist, so we are very, very eager to see whether or not he comes like in what state he appears, in his natural form or his slightly more inebriated form. I'm hoping for the latter. So we'll see later.
Form.
So we're hoping to see that as well. But tonight's theme is, of course, dragons and fantasy. So as you know, Comic-Con Africa's theme this month is gaming, but we thought we were going to play around with something over here and issue a challenge because Stephan has been creating some really, really awesome sort of like lifelike models, which he'll talk about in the course of the show. Paul's a creator, so Paul just creates, but Daniel himself specializes, as you know, in dragons. So what we said we were going to do was we were going to give him a dragon to draw, and we're going to choose the color, and we're going to ask you guys in the chat as well to throw us some ideas as well. And what I wanted to do, guys, if it's okay, is that I wanted the audience to throw us some sort of like features that they would like to see in a dragon. So for example, I'm thinking like if somebody were to say dragon with a pina colada in its hand, nobody say this, it's just like a terrible idea. Dragon with a pina colada in the hand. That's, like, I want to see those kind of challenges. So we're going to open it up and I want to see how everyone actually incorporates that into the sketches. Throughout the course of the show as well, we are going to be discussing some serious stuff as well, including Masters of the Universe Revelation, because that show was a revelation for me. We're definitely going to be chatting about that. And with that being said, let's open it out. How is everybody doing? Daniel, you guys have been busy. Like, I see shows are open again. What was that like?
Oh, it's been actually, I've only been to one so far, and it was great. I mean, the one I went to was about a month ago now, so everyone was still wearing masks. I should be starting up to the first official big convention in 3 weeks, which is going to be MegaCon in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, wow. I'm so excited about that one. We actually wanted to send some Funko Pops out because I believe that the cast of The Hobbit were going to be out there as well.
That's right.
Yeah. So we wanted to send some stuff to get signed up and all that stuff. But then, the country started burning. So we worried that people might burn our pops and then it would be unboxed. And then as a result of that, it would be worth nothing. So, damn you.
Yeah, that would be bad. If I can grab something for you from a Hobbit, I will.
You are a gentleman and a scholar. You are a gentleman.
How much of the Lord of the Rings cast have you met? I imagine you met a few.
Well, I've met all the hobbits.
Oh yeah.
And I've met let's see, Elijah Wood actually I've met a few times, and Sean Astin as well. They both, Sean Astin does a lot of conventions.
Yeah.
And then Dominic Monaghan I've also met a couple times. The harder one is Pippin. I've only met him once. And it was a really long time ago. So yeah.
And at the convention was what was like the payment method? Was everybody still using a lot of cash, or were people paranoid and using a lot of like Square or Apple Pay or whatever?
Everybody was it was 50-50. The weird part about it at the convention that I went to was no kids.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
totally
because some of them are not vaccinated yet, so of course.
Exactly. Like there was like a really small group of children. Like the kids were just not there. It was bizarre going to a comic convention and not seeing like kids dressed up everywhere. But that was really the case.
The big kids.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So what color dragon am I doing here, guys? I got to start.
Oh, yeah.
How about a see-through dragon?
Oh.
Come on. I thought this was D&D.
Whatever color the background is.
I want to see.
Done.
I would like to see. Okay, so Nabil Ismail is asking for blue-eyed white dragon, blue-eyes white dragon. So that's obviously, I think, a Yu-Gi-Oh reference. But what I would really love to see.
So this guy, white dragon. Got it.
No. I want to see a pink dragon. You know what?
In a blizzard. In a blizzard.
Nice. Okay, Daniel, I challenge you to do a pink dragon that has some sort of pseudo translucency going on over there. Huh?
You guys just really don't want me to sell art, do you?
With holding a pina colada.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay.
But look, it's not as bad. It's not as bad as Alan Smith says, dragon with the red rocket. So I'm like, is that a Pokemon reference?
Yeah, I feel like that's not a Pokemon reference. That's a different reference.
Just gonna pretend.
The canine reference.
No. It is of course a family show. But yo. So Stephan,
right.
You are currently on holiday in the middle of absolutely everything. I am so jealous. I am so jealous. Where are you? What are you doing?
We are north of the state where I live, Wisconsin, and this morning we woke up. So we're in a cabin that looks like what you expect of a cabin, in the Northern America locations. So it's like all logs. It's all like the chandeliers are made of antlers, and there's nature everywhere. This morning we woke up and we went on the deck, and there's a pond at the bottom, and then what we saw on the left corner was 3 cranes just having breakfast and just taking their time sitting there. There's muskrats in the pond. There's a line on a big log. Well, that's the usual, but there's a line of 6 turtles sunbathing. And we're gonna go for a hike this afternoon. We're gonna go scout the antique shops and stuff like that. But that's, I mean, I'm really fortunate that my backyard and my house has a lot of green also. So it's not so much a change of pace in that respect, but still my brain processes that we're somewhere else. It's very relaxing. And it is really calming. I don't know. Nature, man. That's what it does.
I'm actually jealous because it sounds like you went and got lost in Narnia. Like, I mean,
I started to say.
Yeah.
Like, how incredible does that sound? Like, I'm so jealous.
Or you're lost in a Disney movie.
And Tony was if Tony didn't have his appointments, I invited him here because we have a room to spare, and I was thinking of later on, doing some plein air painting. But he said, that's too bad. I got my dentist appointment, and it would be too much of a drive for him to do that right now. But we're already thinking about doing something in the fall, and if he doesn't go to a show at that time or whatever, we might try to do something around here and just do like go in the wild and just do paintings and stuff like we do sometimes.
Yes, see, like I never realized how popular Tony was, because like everyone wants to go on holiday with Tony. Like if he's not hanging out with Daniel and stealing Daniel's magic the MTG cards, he's just out of there now.
Well, that's because he's got a chart of how much what are his rates for how much time you book him, for 2 days, for 2 hours.
We're talking about
and then when you do when you do it for a certain time, when you do it for a certain time, you get a deal, you get a good deal. So that's why.
You want that for one deal.
Yeah.
I need to get like some sort of a chart of there, and like if anyone would want to spend time with me, it would be like cheapest ever, because like it's like instead of multiplying rates, you have to divide. So it's like I'd be like the cheapest person to spend time with. I just need to develop more of like a personality that wouldn't be.
Hey,
so
don't rate you. Don't downrate yourself. Come on.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. I was fishing hard there, guys. I was fishing hard for compliments. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for throwing me that one there.
Yeah. You can't devalue yourself when you're selling yourself.
Right.
See, that's why I come over here. So you guys teach me your ways. So my dragon is starting to look like a deer, but on like magic mushrooms. So perfect. I'm not really enjoying this theme. I'm not enjoying this theme at all. I just want to put it out there. Just so everyone is
nice.
on the same page with me, right? But Jesse, right? So Jesse is sitting very, very quietly. Jesse is like, oh, what have I gotten myself into there? So Jesse, how are you doing? Tell us, first of all, this is the first time you're hanging out with us. So tell us the story of Jesse, the chronicles of Jesse. Who is you? Where's you from? What's you about?
The chronicles, probably just like one edition paperback.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, the uncouth one has descended upon us, ladies and gentlemen. How do?
And I decided to take a break. I figured, it's a good time to take a break and hang out with people.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And, the world, and we are grateful for it. So just so you know, Mike has a crud ton of deadlines, and he's taking time out to hang out with us. So super, super grateful, brother. Super, super grateful. So yeah. So Jesse, you were saying, Mike, we have somebody new with us today. This is Jesse. We thought her surname was Oxa, but in actuality, it's pronounced Osh. Like.
That's right, I think. Yeah. Yes.
Jess, you were saying?
So yeah, I'm South African. I grew up in Port Elizabeth and I came to Cape Town to study animation. And here I am learning animation while I'm working in it as a concept artist currently. So, yeah.
Very cool.
Lots of fun.
What sort of things are you working on currently?
Things that I can't speak about.
Oh, we know all about that.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
Watch out!
Don't you have a deadline right now?
Yeah, no, I'll keep my eyes and ears open. But yeah, lots of cool, exciting stuff. Yeah.
Are you
it's
doing
great to be
classical
surrounded.
animation? Or computer
Oh, okay.
or 3D? No, I guess.
Are you asking me?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
I actually don't. I work in the animation industry. I don't animate all that much. I am a concept
You
artist.
do
so
designs, right?
I design for animation. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you specialize in characters or backgrounds or?
I do specialize in characters, but I do usually spread the field, but not so much in environment work. So yeah.
Okay.
Is
great.
it daunting though? It must be daunting.
Concept art.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely daunting. It's a very competitive field, but it's also really fun. And you get to draw all day, so they can't be too bad, right?
Right.
Paul might disagree. Paul might disagree. Paul is more about, like he does like a lot of philosophy work and all of that stuff there. So having to draw in the midst of things just doesn't really work for him. Not so, Paul.
I didn't even know how to respond. So
Tell us about all your philosophy work.
my philosophy work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wake up, coffee, and then go to sleep.
Existentialism in one sentence. Wake up, coffee, go to sleep. Keep that order.
Jesse, how long have you been studying for?
I guess I didn't explain. I'm no longer studying, but I came here to study. Yeah, I'm no longer studying.
Okay.
I've been in the industry for about 3 years now. I think, 3 years. Yeah.
So do you still have to, being a visual development artist, a designer, character designer, do you still have to go through the chores of doing the turnarounds for the characters that are approved that you created, or is that somebody else that does that kind of work?
It honestly, I don't think there's one answer for that. It depends on the project and what is required. So I personally have had to do turnarounds of many characters. So there's no one dedicated specifically to that. I believe so far in my experience, you design the character, you're working with characters, you'll most likely end up doing the turnaround as well, just because you've done the design.
Because but it's a good school. It's a good school to have to do the turnarounds of somebody else's designs, because then it kind of blends in the things that everybody involved in the project can bring to unify the characters, so that you don't see too much of a difference in the final result. I'm talking about more traditional two-dimensional characters, because that's my upbringing artistically. That's what I did for almost 20 years. So.
Oh, really? 2D turnarounds.
Well, I did a lot of things. I did some character design, background design, layout, animation, direction, storyboard. So yeah.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Stephan has literally done everything.
Good skill set to have.
Well, it's, I started in animation, and the thing is, the flip side of this coin is that they don't teach you to be hanging out too long in one department. At least where I learned, they needed so many talents in so many departments, and there was not enough of us. So we were allowed to switch from painting backgrounds to designing characters and it's kind of like being allowed to tap into a lot of candy boxes. So after a while, you think this is the norm. You think that this is, what it's going to be. And unfortunately for me, that's how my mind is set now. So I can't stay for a year and a half on somebody else's project. I have to be doing several things at the same time. Hence the reason why when I was supposed to show up first here today, I was supposed to bring my sculpture and work on it. I couldn't bring it with me in the car. There was too much maintenance, so I decided to go for traditional art. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff I do: sculpting, I do painting, I do comic books and stuff like that. And it's good when you have just 2 or 3 skill set and you focus on them and you bring them to the fullest. So that's really nice. Is that you drawing that bridge with the 2 characters and
yeah.
That's really cool. That's really
Thank
cool.
you.
Very good.
So we have got. So sorry, Jess. So just to adjust something quickly over there.
No
So
stress.
Alan's shouting out, "Can we see everyone's art, please?" Hold that thought, Alan. We're going to be doing so immediately. So Alan, I think you knew. I haven't seen you in the comments below. Thank you for joining us this time. So what's going to happen is we got it the next 2 hours. So what we're going to do is, as we get further into it, I'm going to ask. Shout it again. I'm going to ask each artist to talk us through their process, what they're doing, how they're doing, so you get to see more of that. We also, a rogue Tony Moy has appeared in the comments. Okay, Tony says, I personally know that all these artists are secretly polymorph dragons. What color dragons are they and why are they afraid of showing their true colors? Well, I think we can safely say that Tony is like how high? How high? Woo-wee. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Tony's having a good time.
Okay, so Paul, brother Bear, how are we doing on your side? How have you been?
Brother Bear, I personally am okay. I don't know about the country that I'm in right now. They're kind of in another lockdown because economically, one of their biggest sources of income for the country is tourism. So there's obviously no tourism happening. So a lot of people are suffering, and the numbers for the COVID numbers are higher than they've ever been.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
But
fake, man.
I don't know. But I don't know. There's more and more talks about people getting vaccinated and things. So this isn't gonna last forever. But for now, it's unfortunate for all these other people.
Okay, so just for everyone who doesn't know, Tony, where you at the moment?
My name is Paul.
No, man, I'm talking. No, not you, Paul. Not you. I'm like in the comments over here. Tony is sending like weird things over here and like triggering me. Sorry. That was. Okay, we will get back to Tony just after.
No, I can't.
I'm sorry. Hashtag host fail. I'm just gonna own it. Hashtag host fail. Okay. Sorry, Paul. Where you at?
No, you're totally forgiven because you get my last name perfectly every time.
Limgenco. Yes.
Limgenco.
I say it with Tajweed.
I'm in Thailand right now. Yeah.
It's on my list, eh? It's on my list. As soon as this is over, I am there like a bear.
Yeah. Bring your snorkel.
No, I'm scared. I think it's against my culture to go swimming in deep waters. I'm pretty sure. And see, now nobody can like contradict me on that there because like, they'd be afraid of being culturally inappropriate, which is the nice thing about talking to international guests because they can get away with anything, Tony is at the dentist in Chicago, right? Okay, so is it Chicago or Chicago?
What?
I'm from
Say it
Africa.
again. Max Hedrum. Do it one more time.
Chicago.
Cheat. Got it.
Okay. Look, there's certain words that I just simply cannot say. My tongue just doesn't work that way. Like, for example, parallelogram.
Man, that's a tough. Yeah, that's a tough answer.
Yeah.
See an enemy.
Yeah, that's mine right there. Anemone.
and then and the other one C and M. No, okay, I can't do that one either. And another one I can't do is a corollary. Juxtapose. Yes. Okay, so we must juxtapose our mispronunciation against the Govar ring that is going to happen shortly as everyone takes us through their dragon design process. But of course, before we go to that, there's the uncouth one. Mike, you still with us there? Yes,
I am, yeah.
Mike? So sitting very, very quietly with there, Mike. How are you doing? Like, how are you hanging? How are you holding on there? Because, like, I know the deadlines are finishing you up. How are you doing, brother? Are you taking enough time to hydrate?
You know what? I'm I'm very grateful to have to be as busy as I am, but sometimes just the way things kind of stack up sometimes can be kind of tough to manage. And it's also a lot of birthdays in my family this month, and even though we're not really seeing a lot of anyone in person, there's just a lot of stuff around that. Yeah, it's just been kind of a weird July. It's kind of an intense July. Lots of work and lots of sudden opportunities, which I couldn't really say no to, but they have that ripple effect, sometimes on other deadlines. So yeah, it's been just a tricky time management month for me.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to be busy during these times, eh? Like
it is, yeah, it is. And normally I'd be busy with convention preparation, and I'm still not doing conventions for like a little while. There may be one in Toronto in October if it runs. I hope that it will.
Yeah.
With the way things are looking, sometimes I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. Normally I'm busy with convention stuff, and I've been fortunate to be busy. Well, I'm drawing my comic, and I'm just been getting kind of overloaded with cover work lately, which is my favorite kind of work. So it's really kind of an amazing time. It's just I don't remember what sleep is like, and it's a little bit too hot here for my taste. I'm built for cold weather. I'm not in any cold weather right now. So
it's time to shave off that beard.
Yeah, it's honestly, there's days where it's like I'm wearing a scarf, like a full woolen wrap around my throat, and it's yeah, there might be a time coming for that. I don't know. I feel like I'll lose all my superpowers though if I have to shave. But
it's kind of your trademark.
Well, yeah, it's a weird trademark, I suppose, but I think it is, yeah. I don't know.
You know, maybe as a challenge, what we should do is everyone try to draw what they think Mike would look like without a beard. Because like
Mike's chin.
There are pictures on the internet that show I do have a chin. It's not a mighty chin, but I do have one underneath this huge rooster that lives on my face. But
no way.
Speaking of beards, I got to draw a pretty epic one yesterday because part of the reason this month's been so crazy for me is, like I said, birthdays. And my mom, I haven't been doing a lot of commissions for a long time, but my mom requested a drawing of my dad for his birthday. So it was kind of
that's cool.
Yeah, so that was really cool. But she wanted to see dad as a Viking, and my mom, she's like, oh, I want like the horn helmet and all that stuff. I'm like, well, dad's kind of a historical guy, and like he knows Vikings didn't really have horn helmets. So why don't you maybe let me draw him as kind of like if dad was a D&D character? She didn't really know what that means, but anyway, I drew this of my dad. And
ooh,
oh, nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
That's really, really cool.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was fun. It was
That's fantastic.
Tried to get some kind of little family story elements in there, like my dad's initials.
I hope your mom paid you well.
Please, sorry, guys in the back end, can we just have a closer look at Mike's screen, please? Because that is insanely awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I can totally see some Rooth. I see Rooth in there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's a similarity between us for sure. Yeah. And his beard's not as epic as that. That's his pandemic beard. He finally was able to go and get it properly trimmed recently, and it looks even more awesome than this. But he has this kind of forked beard thing that happens naturally, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, and I tried to get some stuff. Like my dad's a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, so I painted that on the shield. A couple of hockey stick elements and stuff, and then nice. I painted a longboat on his collar with 3 shields to represent the 3 suns, and yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, it was fun. I hope he digs it. I don't know. My mom's pretty picky customer though, so we'll see.
Oh, top critic.
Oh yeah,
That is just insane. That is just insane. Yo. But like, I mean, a project like that must have been like quite daunting, because like, how do you capture the essence of someone? Because I think like, I know like a lot of people who do portraits suffer with that, but now this is somebody who, it's not like where you're doing like a portrait, like where it's one and done. This is like your dad, you know, like you can't get away from it. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, and that's the thing. Like, I think it is kind of a personal thing when it's a family portrait for sure. I actually stopped doing them for many years because everyone started asking me to do them, and it's actually, you know, when you're trying to draw a person or capture a likeness, and you're only working from usually terrible photographs, or in some cases old Polaroids or things like that. It's really
driver's
tough
license.
Yeah, it's really tough. And you know, and the thing is, my dad normally wears glasses, and my mom, of course, wanted him as a Viking, and I'm like, well, I don't know, like, I don't really want to put glasses on him, like, because you know. But then I thought, because it actually changes the shape of his eyes, you know, like it actually kind of changes the dimension of his eyes. So I tried to draw him without the glasses, like just, and I was like, nope, that's not my dad. But I was able to get some more pictures and kind of work from them. But yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. It's a weird journey you go on when you kind of explore a family member in that kind of process drawing. You know, when I was a kid, my dad was like the original Viking hero. You know, like the ball peen hammer here is the ball peen hammer that he keeps under his driver's seat in the car. Like, he's had that in there since the 70s, man. Like my dad's the real deal. So yeah, I kind of wanted to get some fun stuff like that. But yeah, it's funny. You kind of go on a journey, you know, doing these things, and it takes a lot more out of you than you think sometimes.
You know,
your dad, the OG Viking.
Yeah, the original one.
That's just gangster, man. That's just gangster. No, you know what? Like, I recently lost my dad, and like somewhere this would be like just really, thanks, man. It's like, just like really this again. You know, I gotta say to everyone, if you are still blessed and fortunate to have, you know, those that spawned you around, you know, do everything you can, man. Do everything you can. You know, make those memories and do all of that. And like when you someone like Mike, who has that gift, you know, where you can capture the essence of a person, you know, in a picture. That's just incredible. On that note, and this is shameless advertising over here. So for each and every one of you who might be interested in getting custom art, just remember that all the artists over here, right, are actually able to take on commissions. And what you want to do is you want to follow them on all of their socials. And don't forget the artwork that you see them creating at this exact moment live, or if you're watching this video slightly later, will be available for sale as well. And you will be able to follow them on their socials in the details that will appear in the description box below. Now, with that being said, where were we?
Good question.
Paul, that was like your moment. That was your moment to like segue in over there, just be like.
I still don't know what to say. I don't know. Where were we?
So okay. So I'm gonna ask a question. I need to ask for progress update. So Stephan, last month we missed you because you had other commitments. But when we spoke to you before that, you had indicated to us that you had started the mammoth task of actually categorizing and reorganizing and otherwise panel beating your garage. Now, seeing as you're out on holiday and stuff there, how far did you get with that process? Did you finish?
Oh, it's done. It's done. I needed to make the room because I wanted to make the best of the weather, the summer, to work on my the piece I was supposed to bring today, yes. Which is that dinosaur. So I cleared the garage. I still have to, when I go back home, I'm gonna have to address the basement, which is gonna become my my winter studio. So eventually I will be able to, for the further sessions, I might be able to, shoot from there and have on display all my all the stuff I've been building. I'm trying to look for the pictures of the thing I was supposed to bring today because not everybody follows me on Instagram, which is a shame. But yeah, right? This is the kind of stuff I was working on that I was supposed to bring.
Is that all clay?
No. Well, in a way it is. It's foam.
EVA
It's see, so you see the neck parts. That's like low impact EVA square foams that you put in your garage when you're working in front of your workbench, or in a kindergarten. That's the kind of foam they put on the floor for the kids not to hurt themselves when they fall and stuff like that. So this you can bend and shape with a heat gun, and it retains the shape. But then they made that amazing tool, which is, you can see a couple of jars here. It's the same material, but it comes in slime, foam, clay shape. And that's how you do all the scales that are around on the head. So, and this just sticks to the foam squares with a little bit of dabbing of water, and that's it.
Oh.
What?
And then it dries. At first, it's not really heavy because it's kind of like slime, literally. But as it dries out and the water inside evaporates, it becomes as light as those carpet foam squares. So it becomes lighter, and it's like, you have no idea. This is going to be as much a display for Halloween to scare the kids in the neighborhood. It's going to look like a taxidermy dinosaur head on my wall. But I can also dismount the head from the neck, and I can actually use it for a cosplay if I want.
Oh,
like
so
putting
cool.
putting a hood and a robe and stuff like that, and then maybe make a knight armor that goes with it, like a dragon knight, of sort.
Very cool.
So yeah, it's gonna be fun. There's more pictures on my Instagram on Shed Magic Cosplay, and I'm gonna post some stuff on my Facebook page soon too.
So you guys know what you need to do. Go and follow, share. Just want to say how's it to Walt, who says, I came for the dragons, I'm staying for the Viking dad. In addition to that, I also want to say how's it to Nabil. Nabil is conspiring in the comments with Tony. So we're not going to entertain any of that. Nabil also talking about the Dragon Zord. Brendan Stain saying, quietly preparing to blow us away, in reference to everyone over here. And Kolia LV says, evening Jess. So, okay. And then we also got, so we actually have some suggestions for people to, some people, why is this camera going that way? It's like, it's going to show my untidy lounge. No, go the other way. No, the other way. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it turns out everything is backwards. Yeah. So Brennan Stain calling for a green slime dragon with the bone semi-visible under slime. Okay, Brennan, like you need to talk to someone about that. That is disturbing. That is very disturbing. Okay, so we got Nabil calling for a snow dragon, also a blue eyes white dragon, and Alan Smithy asking for dragons with chin horns. I got you, fam. I got you.
Chin horns.
Yes,
got
I
one.
got that.
It's got chin horns. Yeah.
Okay, so we got the chin horns up there. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Represent. Okay. And of course, Tony sending love over here to Stephan, saying Stephan's skill is ludicrous. What is ludicrous is, of course, this newly launched YouTube channel, channel with show that I've been seeing. It's these two random chaps from Lord knows where.
They're total idiots.
And it's called the Paint Bros. And these guys are just out of there dispelling all the myths and all of that stuff over there, and they are making watercolor sexy once more. So we are privileged, of course, to have the founding father of that particular thing, because I refuse to give Tony credit for anything.
Yeah. Even though technically he's like the doesn't work without Tony.
How's that been great, brother? How's that been great?
It's been going well. We the last episode was kind of horrible because we both were exhausted when we did it. But no, it's been going really well. We've been coming up with topics, and we have like a master list of topics that we want to cover. I think the next one's probably going to be talking about tools and materials and things like that we get asked about a lot. So. Yeah.
I actually popped into a couple sessions there, and I gotta admit, like, guys, some of the questions that the people are asking, I'm like, yeet. That's hardcore,
Yeah.
y'all. That's hardcore.
Yeah, they don't mess around. I was kind of impressed. I kind of thought, people would be like, how do you draw so good or something like? No, it's nothing like that. It's more
It's like actual, like, really technical questions.
Yeah, and it always throws me for a loop at how incredibly knowledgeable everybody is.
Paul and I want to be invited on as guests. We haven't discussed it, but we want to come on as guests. I'm just gonna be sitting over there because, like, I own paintbrushes and watercolor color pencils I don't know how to use. So I'm just gonna be there like this over here. Just for here in South Africa, we have a thing called BEE representation. So I'm gonna be the token Indian guy just for that. But Paul's totally gonna slay as well.
Definitely plan on having guests in there. Yeah.
We'll just talk about how to start raising squirrels so that we can harvest their squirrel hair for paintbrushes.
Right, for squirrel hair brushes. Yeah. Exactly. Squirrel hair.
Yeah.
You get squirrel
underground squirrel hair.
Yeah. Has anybody ever seen a sable? Like.
I think I've Googled it.
Yeah. Exactly.
They could. I mean,
they have the best brushes
for squirrel hair.
Oh yeah. No, I have a squirrel hair brush. I've got what else? I've got a yak hair brush. I've got all sorts of weird ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably not as many different kind of animal hairs as Mike's.
I don't know. I get all of mine from China, so some of them are like really kind of suspect.
Oh,
yeah. Like I'm not really sure what some of them are.
Human hair. That's what it is.
I'm probably
Viking beard hairbrush.
Yeah.
The most badass of brushes.
Yeah, exactly. Slayer brush.
I should probably keep all that stuff that I shed and actually try to make a brush.
Oh yeah.
What's that? Your own
Mike, you should establish an Etsy shop.
Yeah.
Pre-orders opening soon. You heard about it here first. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do at this point over here is just for the benefit of my boy, who was it again? Was it Alan Smithy? Yes. Okay. So we're gonna cross over to each person just to see like how everyone's doing, where the art is at this week of year. So just to show you where I am, with my dear looking dragon.
Nice.
So,
Ooh.
Yeah, it looks good, man.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I love it.
Merci.
I like the short snout. Yeah, that's really cool.
So I'm thinking that, like, just thank you very much. I appreciate that. So just like in terms of structural adaptations, it would suggest that this one over here is a dragon that eats small game. Like it doesn't have like big jaws and stuff like that. So it would probably go after small game. And it is exactly the dragon that started the underground squirrel hair revolution for brushes.
Nice.
That's
Way to bring it back.
Bring continuity, people.
Full circle.
Yeah. The juxtaposition is overwhelming. Yeah.
Is what I'm about. Okay. So with that being said, Jesse, would you be a lamb? Might we have a look at yours? Slightly closer up over there. So Gaz, let's bring that up to the fore. And yeah, so Jesse, you've got a whole lot going on over here. There's like just the construction. Take us through it.
Are you seeing it all right?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the guys to put it on full screen. There we go. Yes. Okay. So
yeah, so basically I'm very much still in the brainstorming stage. I had a very rough layer underneath this just to block out the shapes of things I'd like to be happening. So at the moment I'm definitely at the sketch stage where I'll start filling in details, but I might change them later. Things like that, checking for tangents and just making sure the visual reads as much as I can make it read. So still very far away from any beautifying, very much the brainstorming stage. So yeah, that's pretty much me.
What I'm loving though, because what we really love about this particular stream is that we talk about techniques and thought processes over here, and what I'm seeing is that like there's different focal points and different depths of like the way you are sort of spacing everything over there, and it's like almost as though it's like you sort of like getting like pulled into the picture over there. Did I get that right?
Yeah, I hope so. That's good to hear.
That's the goal, yeah.
Yeah, that's the goal.
I love that you're taking like a layered approach to this, which is like an animation thing. You're literally segmenting everything on the separate layers, which is definitely something that the 2D artists are not really approaching it the same way. But I just think that's fascinating. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah. It's probably it makes things easier so that eventually if I change my mind, I don't need to completely erase or resketch something. I can just switch something off if things aren't working. And then ultimately sometimes I will just completely delete half the image and then start again as it goes, the creative process. But
it gives you so much more range on and control on composition for sure.
You can rotate things. You can
you can be more aggressive.
Which is something that regardless of the tool actually, and that's my big rule, is regardless of the tool, whether it's digital or traditional, you shouldn't skip that step or those steps. Like of course it's more frustrating when you do it on paper. If you have to redo your composition, start over, you have to start on a new piece of paper. When you layer things on the computer, you can separate the dragon from the bridge, from the characters, from the moon, so you can adjust, rotate, move, tilt, but don't skip those steps when you do it on paper, guys, because that's the only way to make sure that your composition is definitive, efficient, eye-catching, and solid, so that after that, when this is figured out, you can move on to the rendering, indulging into the details, the emphasis on the lighting and stuff like that, where your fun is going to be. But the composition is always the strongest. It's the backbone. You can't skip that step. Yeah,
that's critical. Yep.
Yeah, guys.
Ease. Whoever's watching.
Notice how like how I just realized, oh shit, I didn't know I'm supposed to do any of that. I'm like,
he was
like,
talking to you.
Like,
yeah,
I was like, oh, okay, because I'm just
like,
out of here. Throw on color, go crazy. Who cares? Put pink in the dragon. It makes no sense. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to play. So,
I feel kind of called out.
I fear nothing. Look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair.
Oh, nice. Well, I got that reference.
Thank you. Okay,
so
no, I was twanging despair.
okay.
So I don't know where I went with that there, but so Volt asking what country, state, cities everyone's situated in right now. Okay, so I think I'll start out. I'm in South Africa, in Gauteng, in Pretoria, in the cold. Okay, so over to you, Stephan.
I'm in a cabin in the woods in Wisconsin.
I'm in the country of Florida.
Have you met the Florida man?
Florida man.
Technically speaking, I guess I am the Florida man.
My whole life is a lie.
I don't have nearly the drama that Florida man typically does. So.
Are you talking about the New York man?
Yeah, right.
Oh, I should correct that. I'm in Bucks territory, Bucks and 6.
Oh, I have a dead snake outside.
Yeah.
We already mentioned that I'm in Thailand.
Nobody. I was just like nobody else like really volunteering that information because like why does he want to know? What's this for? Like you know?
Yeah. Well, my
I'm in a condo in Chicago.
Oh, Tony's here.
Oh,
Tony!
Snuck in.
Here he
Snuck
is.
in, under the radar.
All right.
Okay, no, I gotta
is.
introduce him. I gotta introduce him properly. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you what was that little known publication he was in?
So,
what was that
so
again?
Paul, how was your dentist appointment?
Paul, yeah, how was it?
Tony, you missed it. Zed called me.
No, I heard it. I heard it. I was
Oh, you
like,
heard it?
I was like, that's not his. He's talking to me, or
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
Like,
on the
yes.
I was on the
Alright.
train after the dentist, and I was just watching you guys. I was like, oh. Okay.
I'm never gonna live that one down, am I?
Nope.
Like
Yeah.
years from now, when we are old and wrinkled,
You're
then
totally not
gonna
gonna live
come
that down, Patrick.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Speaking of
And
which, where is
conversation
Pat?
died with that. Pat, actually, we have a okay. So Pat and I work together as well. So we have this major presentation tomorrow,
Right.
and Pat is currently working on our pitch. So
Aha.
yeah,
Ah.
that's why he earns the big bucks.
See.
So, okay.
So
Wait.
and the conversation
So,
died with that
Tony,
too.
how was your appointment? Are you like numb?
No, it was mostly just a checkup, and you know.
Are you high?
yeah.
I wish. I wish.
I don't know.
Basically,
I don't know,
need to
but
floss more. Like that's been the common theme. I
Yeah.
I think that's what they always say.
Yeah, yeah. Even before you sit on the chair, they go, oh, you should be fussing more.
Okay, so with that being said, okay, so let's carry on looking at other people's artwork over here. At this point of the cure, I'd like us to take a crossover very quickly to, well, not very quickly. I mean, let's cross over to Danny Boy. Can we have a look at Daniel's artwork front and center, please?
This is my pink
Alright.
dragon.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
dragon.
Okay, so while we wait for our play, what?
Nice
That's
angle.
It's getting there.
Lovely. Really cool.
Thank you.
Dang.
I still have, it's all underpainting, so it's not even going to be this color when it's done. So no, you didn't get a pink dragon. I'm so sorry.
It could
it's
still
gonna
be
be-
clear.
I was waiting too long, and I was like, okay, well, I'll start off with pink, but it's gonna go. It's gonna be a traditional Dungeons and Dragons red dragon. So
Mhm.
I haven't
Yes,
actually
sir.
done one of those in a really long time. So
Yo.
How many
Okay,
dragons
so
would this
then-
you've done, Dan, over your career? If you had to take a wild guess at a number.
oh my gosh,
Over under 1,000.
Yeah.
probably right at 1,000. I'm guessing.
What?
It's probably close to 1,000.
Oh, that's a lot of dragons.
Yeah, close to 1,000. It might even be over 1,000. It's somewhere around there. Let's put it this way: I'm making a book that will be kickstarted next year. That's literally a dragon book.
Oh,
Nothing
nice.
So,
I love it. That's great.
I
all dragons,
cannot
all the
wait.
time.
I cannot wait all day, every day. Like, and you should call it Heart of the Dragon, and then have like, no, wasn't that Cisco? Cisco did like Heart of the Dragon. You know, remember
Yeah.
Cisco? No,
You
okay.
remember Cisco?
Hey, Stephan, what's the anagram of my name? For the,
Dragon alive. Dragon
yeah.
alive.
Dragon alive. Wow.
You can't make up those things. That's what it is.
He sent me
That's-
that, and I was like, "Are you serious? How did I not know this?"
Yeah. Daniel Govar reads Dragon alive.
I think we should
Oh.
all figure out the next time what our anagrams of our names are.
And draw it. Okay, guys. Since Tony jumped in, I'm gonna have to take my leave now and get a decent sunburn.
Oh, nice.
I know.
What is this, tag
But
team?
Okay, but before you go, right? Just a quick shout out now where people are going to find you. What are you currently working on, and like all of that stuff over there. Make it easy for the guys.
Yeah, my handle on Instagram is for whatever comic book illustrative work is French Wookie. And right, I just finished a short gig for a kid's book that was really fun to work on. I have to put the final touch when I come back home in a few days. So I will be promoting after that on my Facebook page and on Instagram. The dinosaur is on another account. It's the Shed Magic cosplay. Aside from that, I'm working on my creator-owned project, which I can't divulge right now, but I will be able to show some stuff down the line. So this is what I'm mostly focusing on, and this is as far as I went with my dragon. I'm gonna put some colors later today, maybe tonight, and I will post on Instagram. I will post on Instagram and on Facebook for sure.
I love those horns, man.
Yeah, I was trying to go for something that is a little different in shape and also suggests that it's twisting and turning and changing planes. So yeah, that's
Tony, are you looking at it? Does it have like a Nicole Bolas kind of vibe?
It does have a little Nicole Bolas.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I totally see it, and I love the horns. Like that distance, like kind of funky receding thing is cool.
Send me a link or share it on the on the page so that we can all because I don't know that artist, but I'd be interested to see.
Oh no, it's not an artist. It's actually a very famous dragon. Hold on.
It's a dragon.
It's a dragon named Nicole Bolas.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you just call me a savage?
Here we go. Let's see if I can make it big.
See, that's why he's the dragon expert. He knows them by name.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I can see.
It was the horn shape. The horn shape was very kind of iconic.
Yeah. The twists and the change of planes and stuff. I can see that.
It would definitely be if you put armor on him. Nicole Bolas is like a dragon with some armor.
Yeah.
Because he needs it. Because he needs protective.
Right.
He needs protective leggings and stuff like that. Yeah, of course. Because he doesn't have fire breath.
Well, he wears sandals and
he wears Crocs.
Yeah.
You know what?
It's like Achilles heel, but the whole body.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, I'm not liking the way people are throwing shame at Crocs. Crocs are life. Crocs are God's way of showing us that.
Oh, I hear you. I'm wearing them right now.
My brother from another mother. Yes. Which ones do you have? Do you have the old school ones with bolts, or do you have some of the new style ones?
Oh, I have the basic ones, but I just saw a friend of mine, a neighbor actually. He introduced me to a brand that is called Merrill.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
And they're designed like super. I mean, as they are, you could use them right off the bat for cosplay. If you were doing like one of those elves armors or stuff like that, you could use those as the soles. He said one thing though, because they have like oval shaped holes in them, and the rubber part is faceted, like it has an angle like a ridge, like kind of crests and stuff, kind of like a T-Rex neck, when there's different planes. The only thing he says is that because of those oval holes, when he gets a sunburn on his feet, it leaves a mark once he takes them off. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. It's like a leopard, pattern and stuff. But they're pretty cool. And Merrill, 2R, 2Ls. Yeah, that's the designs are really cool. Yeah.
They do a lot of hiking shoes.
Oh, they do. Yeah, they do hiking shoes. Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah. But they have those Croc types. So, yeah. Look at the expert. So we have the dragon expert and we have the hiking shoes expert.
One will actually make you money.
The hiking shoes.
Well, those Croc type shoes are $40. So yeah, you'll make money out of those. All right, guys, I gotta go.
Take it easy,
Thanks
man.
for joining us.
All right, keep up the good work. I will look at the rest of the show later on, and I will post my image when it's done.
We look forward to it.
Awesome.
We look forward to it. And just remember, guys, show love and support for Stephan as well. And don't forget that if you are a little bit confused on where to go, we will also share all of this artwork over here on our ArtChimp channel on Instagram as well. So,
Thank you, Zeta. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
merci,
Yeah, man.
merci, sir. Merci.
See you later.
monsieur.
Bye.
Man, Stefan is just like the most awesome. Like seriously, no single human being should be that talented in so many different things. It's just,
I agree.
it just doesn't,
It's
like
not
really,
fair.
it's just not, like all I'm out here doing, I'm just out here having my little chocolate, because I can, and everyone's out there just like like just doing their things over there, So yeah, but anyway, Paul, if we might we cross over, get a little bit closer there, and have a look at what are we working on today, gentlemen.
Okay. Can you not see it? Oh, there. There you can.
Wow.
I'm doing a dragon skeleton. I'm gonna have it underwater, like
Nice.
it died and sank to the bottom. So I'm just putting in the blacks for now, and then I'll paint colors on top of it. A very different underpainting kind of approach from Daniel, but yeah. So obviously skeleton, and then there's gonna be a couple of small people here for scale. Yeah, and hopefully it'll look like it's underwater instead of just everything is like a blue sky. So I've never really done an underwater scene like this, I don't think. So it's kind of experimental.
I love it.
It's such a unique take,
Thanks.
my man. Such a unique take. Such a unique take. Okay, so now, let's talk brushes over there. So, what are you using?
I am using a Toronto store brand brush. There's a store called Curry's in Toronto, and it just got one of those brushes there. I'm pretty sure it's a synthetic brush. I got a bunch of these before I moved from Toronto. This is probably my last one of this kind of size and shape, but yeah, it's a synthetic acrylic brush. Number what?
In other words, no
1/4 inch.
squirrels. No squirrels were hurt in the making of this brush.
No, not in this brush, but probably in other ones. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So, but now, okay, so a little later, we're gonna have to see now how you're gonna manage to preserve, the actual. Oh no, wait. I'm gonna say this differently. How you're going to handle the juxtaposition of the skeleton versus the, like the water effect, like not just having the skeleton just all look like colored in blue or like blue green or whatever it is. Like, how are you actually gonna draw that distinction with it still being a skeleton?
I'm not even very confident that sentence made sense with that word.
I didn't understand anything.
Okay, look, guys, you know what? I'm normally a lot more articulate than this, but I've got like a whole lot of chocolate over here, and I shouldn't have started now because I can't multitask.
Yeah.
But I assure you, when you look back on this someday, you will realize that was a very, very intelligent question. Now, quickly,
Yeah.
somebody talk something else.
The
Someday.
chocolate is creating some sort of juxtaposition in your mouth when you talk.
I don't think the mic would pick it up. I didn't realize I'll be like.
But
Do you
I
have
am jealous.
access
I don't
to
have any.
supplies? Oh, sorry.
Me?
No, I was going to say, Paul, do you have access to supplies like where you are? Do you need? I can send you a care package of brushes if you need them.
No, I'm good.
You sure? Yeah.
I'm good, actually. Yeah. No, I'm fine. Thanks for the offer.
No
And if
problem.
I do need anything, actually, I just send it to a PO box in Ottawa, and then they ship
Oh,
it
nice.
here. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So I don't have to pay for like international shipping.
Oh, that's great.
I got an airbrush compressor from a place in Winnipeg because it was the cheapest I could find. And yeah, I just shipped it to Ottawa and instead of having to ship it directly overseas, and then they just shipped it here, which is pretty awesome. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. It's like domestic shipping.
That's great.
But yeah, like besides the whole lockdown situation now, finding supplies is not as easy, but then you just got to dig around and you'll find what you need. in
Right.
more than one place. Yeah.
Oh, that's
There's no one-stop shopping. I have to
Right.
go from like one part of the city to the next if I want to buy a bunch of different supplies.
I got you.
Like finding golden paints was really difficult.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. That's an
Yeah,
interesting.
like there's this one tiny store that has like almost every type of golden like paint and medium that you would want, but no other store that I found in the city has it, which is weird. It's like they have a monopoly on it.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Mafia.
Yeah.
Okay. What a
They
time
rub
to
out
be alive.
everybody else with gold.
I'm just, I'm just like flawed. Like, so, okay, so on my side, I decided that I was going to, no, actually, I shouldn't talk about it just in case. Let me just see who's watching here. Let me just see who's watching over here before I talk about what I wanted to talk about. Nope, can't take a chance. Moving on. So, Jesse, are you having a good time?
Oh yeah, no, super chilled. I'm enjoying myself. Thanks for having me.
I must apologize. Like, like that Tony, he's
Yeah.
just,
I'm
he's just,
sorry.
fame's changed him. Fame has changed him. I'm not
I'm
gonna lie.
totally sorry for
Like-
having a name that he messes up all the time.
Fame and money have changed Tony. Did you know that Tony has a card for MTG that is worth $15,000? like that's retirement money here in South Africa, Tony. It's retirement money. And now that is as good a
To be
segue as
fair, I never paid for that card. I won it at a
I
tournament.
started to say that was actually a win. Yeah.
Yeah, that amplifies my nerdiness because I didn't actually just go out and pay for it. I won it.
That is gangster. And that is as cool a segue as ever to actually go a little closer to what Tony is doing for us today. Well, tonight.
Yeah.
So, guys,
What
we'll
are you
see if
drawing, Tony? Oh, look, a green dragon.
A green dragon.
I feel like mine should have been facing the other way now.
I'm actually since we had a little conversation earlier from about Magic the Gathering, I decided
Oh,
to
yeah.
try to draw a crawl worm, which is like
Oh, yeah. No, I
first
totally see
started,
it. Yeah.
First started playing Magic, like that was my card. So
Oh, really? That's like old school revised edition. I love it.
the old school, like, oh, there's a dragon, and then I was gonna do this one or the Shivan Dragon, one of the two.
All right, now I'm gonna bring it up for everybody so that they can see the reference.
Let's see.
See, crawl worm.
Let's just cross. Okay, if
Such
you
a
guys would
classic.
cross over, please. Cross over to the other camera, guys.
Stand by. Stand by.
We need, like, full segue music.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to find the actual card so that it doesn't look all. There we go. Add to photos. Go to my photos. Bam.
Yeah,
All right, here we go.
yeah, there you
Ah,
Classic crawl worm.
Wow.
go. Absolutely
That is
vanilla
awesome.
6'4".
Yep. Like ridiculous casting cost.
Yep. Absolutely nothing now.
Something you would never ever summon because it just costs too much. Yeah.
Yeah, but back in the day.
Exactly.
That was the one. That was
Yeah,
the one. That
that's
was the hero card.
Oh, everyone made that horrible decision. It's like, oh, cool, it's a giant green dragon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring that out.
Yeah.
You know,
What
and
does
then
it
you
do?
end up
Nothing.
dying because you brought it out. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I never did get into Magic simply because, like, there wasn't enough exposure. And now, when I look at it, I'm like, oh my god! Like, just like
It's unreal.
just the amount of like, like, I mean, I have a fair amount of collectibles, but like, damn, some of that stuff.
Magic has like really kind of jumped into the mainstream now. I mean, it's so big now, it's ridiculous. And the thing is, like, we talk about comics all the time on here, but comics that we talk about are usually the American market. Magic is a worldwide market, and I mean it is huge worldwide on a scale that, like, it makes 10 times the money of the American comic market.
Where does it originate?
It originated in
here.
the US. Yeah, Richard Garfield back in the early 90s developed it.
Yeah. And then he ended up selling it to Wizards of the Coast, who now owns both Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering. They also own a bunch of other properties too, but
pretty much that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
This is the thing, like, I know here in Comic Con Africa, we were trying at some point, like around 2018, we were trying to do more to actually showcase the different fandoms. And what was a little disappointing for me was that I found that, that particular community here, while when you talk to them, they're very, very welcoming. The second you like try to join a game and you have no idea what's going on, guys will chop you. Like, if you go over there and you make, you have a summoning fail, like you guys are talking about now, there is a good way to get your chakras realigned, and not in a nice way. It's hectic. You see when you come.
Just a little more time people have been pretty South Africa. Like it was always fine. Like for a little while I was doing like Friday night magics and stuff like that, and playing with random people. And I never really, because I took a break for a long time, and then I kind of got back into it, and then I'm on a break now again. But yeah. It's kind of like D&D, I guess. If you want to try getting D&D, it totally depends on the people that you're with.
Yeah, that's true.
Playing,
I miss D&D.
I know, right?
Well, that's the thing that I love about this last set that Magic just released is it's Dungeons and Dragons Magic, which is just crazy.
That's I feel like it's like one of those things that's been sitting right there the whole time, and like. Because when you told me that today, I'm like, oh, of course they're joined together. But like, it just seemed like two. I mean, it helps it obviously that Wizards of the Coast, owns it all. But it's just it's weird to see. I mean, it's always weird to see kind of cross branding sometimes. Like when you see DC and Marvel end up at the same place or in the same game or something. It's always kind of a neat little nod to the fans. But something like this is the potential for this is so huge. I'm kind of amazed it didn't happen earlier.
You knew it was coming because 2 years ago they created the Dungeons and Dragons books, like rule books, for playing within the Magic the Gathering realm. So all the things that you could be in Magic the Gathering and the creatures that are iconic to Magic the Gathering, they created that world so that you can play it as Dungeons and Dragons, thieves and rogues and stuff like that. So when that happened, you're like, okay, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I think it took time for them to figure out how best to actually do it without making it forced and feel like something that they slapped together. I think they were really methodical with it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have to be. They are so careful now with all the cards and like mechanics and everything else that comes with Magic because it's their baby.
Oh yeah. What blows me away with it is that there are so many different types of markets with it. You have like the collector's market, you have the art collector's market, and then you've also got the gaming, the people that are just into the gaming mechanics of it. And it's just interesting how they all kind of bizarrely work and coalesce together.
Yeah.
Well, see, the art is something to behold. The art is truly something to behold. So, and I mean, what you guys were saying earlier in the group about like how much the original art sells for, that's insane.
Oh yeah. Well, it just recently, the combination of Dungeons and Dragons and Magic art that's happening with the last set just popped it up through the roof. Like it was always pretty good, but
I think that COVID helped a little bit too. Like, I think that, you had all these collectors that are no longer buying things at conventions and whatnot. So I think that they also kind of drove the price kind of way higher than it normally is. I mean, now you sell one piece, and as I said, you can buy a house, and not a shabby house, like a really nice house.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Also seeing that in the comic book world, like when you look at, especially with the speculator markets, like some books that are fairly modern age books, but the kind of prices that they're calling for that, and for characters that haven't like truly peaked as yet, it's just insane what's going on with this. So it'll be interesting to see now what happens as we get back to conventions, like live shows, and you see the stuff now, like, well, not necessarily with the magic cards, but the comic book specifically, where so many vendors are available and they have like Amazing Spider-Man 300, and there's copies of it, freely available, Ultimate Fallout 4, all of that, and what happens with it, just a quick one over here. Brendan Stain asks, what does Paul think of Niv Mizzet? I hope I didn't do that. No, I'm not sure what it is.
Niv Mizzet is a red-blue dragon from Magic the Gathering.
Nice.
Okay, so I think they meant Tony and not Paul. So okay, guys, just so you know, I had a host fail, #host fail earlier. So there's a Paul and there's a Tony, So Paul is currently now trying to create an effect of being underwater while not being underwater. Tony is out to be here now, just double checking that nobody stole his magic cards. Okay. Just so you know who's who in the zoo there. Okay, so fake Paul, aka Tony. What are your thoughts on
Niv Mizzet? Is a fun commander and a great enabler. Red blue is one of my favorite colors, so I like him. He's in my decks. It feels so weird to be talking about it here.
Nerd.
That's all I hear right now. You guys are not saying anything, but that's all I hear. What a nerd.
No, yeah. Honestly, right? Normally it's Daniel that goes on.
You do that without even looking it up.
About stuff. But like over here now, it's like Tony is moyaring today. So normally Daniel is govaring. Today we got Tony is moyaring. And we got Jessie who just like oshing because she's like, why did I agree to do this? Then we got me who's slobbering, but that's for completely different reasons.
Thanks for whoever asked that.
Do you guys have Lint out there?
What was that?
I was saying,
do you guys have Lint?
Killer. There we go.
Okay, so let's have a look at some updates there. So we're gonna go slightly closer into Jesse's work. And we're going to go through the process of this. So I see that Jesse is blocking out some shadows. Guys, slightly close fast, please. Thank you. Jesse, talk us through your process.
Not too different from when you asked me a couple of minutes ago, to be honest. At the moment, I'm trying to give depth to my sketch while I'm plotting everything out, just so that when I look at it again, either tomorrow or later on, I'm not confused as to what's happening. So I'm just plotting basic layers and what exactly I want shading wise, maybe. So just so my brain is less confused. So yeah, that's pretty much right.
I'm loving them. I gotta ask, do you find that now that you are actually in the creative arts as a career, are you actually able to still just do art for the fun of it, or where you can just actually lose yourself in the piece just as a form of relaxation?
Yes, I do, but it's hard fought to be able to have the time to do free time stuff. It's a very busy very busy job. I'm lucky enough to have a continuous daytime one, but freelance is also involved after hours often, you know, or if you just go full freelance, you're going to be working on that. You'll probably take 1 or 2, maybe 3 jobs at once, depending on your schedule, and that gets very busy, and it does burn you out quickly, and it makes you appreciate the free time you have to do your own stuff so much more. And so yeah, it's definitely something that I think is very important to keep in your schedule as much as you possibly can. It's just time for yourself to enjoy, because you're drawing all day, and then at the end of the day, what you do to relax is draw. So you want to keep some energy over for that as well. But yeah, no, it's definitely possible, and I do it, but it does take some practice and blocking out schedule time, definitely.
I remember having that same question or issue when I made the transition as well. It was like, I used to do this to like get away from staring at the computer screen and programming and emails, and now that you're doing, like, how do you kind of relax without the pressure of like the deadlines and you know, or just exploring, you know, sometimes just giving yourself time to explore.
Definitely very important.
Or something else is always a challenge sometimes.
Yeah.
Is that the shared sentiment? So I mean, we have two folk over here now who are definitely that mind space is that the general trend? I mean, Mike, do you have the same? You face the same challenge?
Well, I mean, I try to make time to draw, you know, every day if I can. I'm not always that lucky. I feel like when you do take that time, or, you know, you take your time to do something else, like Stephan had mentioned earlier, you know, like doing some sculpting or doing something on the side can really kind of actually open up doorways in the thing you do most of the time. Like if I pick up clay for a little while and just kind of mess around with it and, I don't know, sculpt a Swamp Thing head or something like that, you know, I can suddenly get my brain kind of triggered into like thinking more in 3D, and that can really be a helpful thing. But yeah, I try to you know, make something about every piece I'm doing a little bit fun, something for me, even if it's just the way a hand is drawn or a detail that I want to include or something like that. Because very often, you know, you're working on stuff that are for other people and it's very controlled. But yeah, it really is important. I think it's essential, I think, for artists to try to find time. And it's funny, you know, like they make jokes about it. Like I keep on dreaming of a day this summer, you know, where I'm going to be able to take a couple of weeks off to visit some family and, you know, only work on one thing, because I'm only going to bring one thing with me to work on while I'm away, instead of having all these things that you're juggling all the time, you know. Like I really want to make progress on my comic Dodge this summer, and but I've been getting kind of flooded with cover gigs, so it's been hard to balance them. So when I think about relaxing and spending time away from the drawing board, it's actually spending more time at the drawing board, but just with a different intention. It's still work, it's still full-time work, it's still an entire job, but it's just a different way of approaching it than you know, the tight cover deadlines and things like that. So. Yeah.
Isn't that weird, Mike, when like you're trying to get a weekend and you're visiting family or whatever else, you still bring some work with you, or you just
I have to. You know, and it's one of those things.
Can't help it.
Can't not bring it.
Like I don't see my family very often, and when I do, I very often bring a sketchbook with me. Just if I'm just sitting and having coffee with my parents at the table, I'll bring my sketchbook out. And
right.
I think it used to kind of weird them out. Like they used to be like, "Oh, okay, well, I guess you got to work, so we'll leave you alone." I'm like, no, it's actually easier for me to think and also to communicate and listen and talk while I have a sketchbook in front of me. I don't know if that's just a nervous condition or what, but it's I honestly feel like I my comprehension is better, and it's probably why I used to doodle in my margins in school. You know, I feel like you know, yeah, I need to have a pencil going all the time. It's the only way I can kind of relax. It's either that or I just sit and I get the Jimmy leg, you know, and I twitch like I have too much caffeine. So I draw. I always try to draw, you know, even when I'm not drawing. Like I take a vacation from drawing to draw usually.
Right. It's such an odd thing. I don't know if any other like industry does it kind of a thing like that.
Yeah, like I used to dig trenches for a living, but I don't think I would go and take a break from digging trenches to go dig trenches. But yeah, it's one of those things, you know. I love drawing so much. I would be lost without it. It's the thing that I think pulls me out of all the darkness when it comes and all that stuff that drawing does for us mentally. I think it's sorry.
It's hilarious when you go to like one of those restaurants that have the tablecloths that are made out of paper and the crayons.
We're the ruiners. Yeah.
That's my dream. I think every restaurant, just by default, I don't care how fancy it is, every restaurant should come with paper and crayons on the table. I don't care.
Yeah, sometimes I'll see a kid at a restaurant with the kids menu and crayons. I'm just staring at them. Like, oh man, I would like draw the shit out of that kids menu.
Oh yeah. There used to be this barbecue place we go to that just had newsprint covering all the papers, like blank, basically like drawing newsprint on all the tables. Oh my god, a bucket of crayons, and I would sometimes bring my own supplies, and I just sit and eat wings all night and just draw. And the thing about when you're drawing when you don't care, and that's the other essential thing that I think a lot of us forget. When you're drawing without any consequences, when you're drawing just for you, just for the sake of spending some time, whatever, getting your thoughts out on the page. Those are sometimes when the greatest things you'll ever draw emerge. And if that happens to happen on a menu, a kids menu at a restaurant, well, so be it. I drew an epic dark side with a purple crayon once on the back of a kid's menu, and I felt torn. I was like, this might be my new medium, guys. I don't know. This is the best thing I've ever drawn.
One time my wife and I were at this restaurant, and it was one of those ones where it has like the paper for the tablecloths, and like there was a lot of crayons, and every table had it. And we find out that there's like a little contest that they do daily where whichever tablecloth has the best one for the day, they'll give you a coupon for a free meal the next day.
Unfair.
Unfair. I was like
glancing over like, oh, it is on.
Yeah, give me my cake and get out of the way.
How dare you use your powers for evil?
What? One of the things, there's a little fast food restaurant here, like Subway. Witch. And one of the things they have is when you are waiting for your sandwich as they're putting it together, they have a wall full of people that use like crayons on their sandwich bags, and they post them up.
Yeah.
And so I was working near one, and every time I went, I was like, okay, what character should I do today? I was like, X-Men. So I just go through all the X-Men, and I got to the Avengers. And that was one of the first things that went viral because someone took a random photo of them, and it was like, no one wanted to take it down because they would take the bad ones down and give space, but like mine, I had a whole section.
That is so cool. It's so cool. There was something Mike said, I just really want to talk about. And to anyone who's watching out there, and you might be, struggling with the demons upstairs, the process of creating art, in whatever form it is, whether you are sculpting, whether you are drawing or painting or any of the other forms, pulling for that matter, it's really, really good. It's very, very cathartic, and it's very, very important to actually invest that time in yourself for self-care. And the point that Mike also made, and it's been echoed by everyone else as well, is that sometimes when you find yourself losing yourself in this sort of process, it actually helps you as well. Because I must confess, slightly earlier in my career, so I used to sit in consultations with clients, and I'd be listening to them, but like while I'm listening, I'd be sketching, so I'd be sketching, and I remember this one time my boss, so this was when I was doing articles, and she was like, "You cannot be sitting here and drawing Batman in front of a client because the client is like, what is he doing? That's actually how I process. And I know exactly what you said. I know exactly what you said. You just say this is how I process." And like she just thought that I was like this, like a bit more of a screwball than I really am. And there was this one case in particular, there was this one meeting we were in, this negotiation, and so I lost myself in the sketch. And afterwards, they were like, okay, any questions? And then I was like full Danny Crane. Okay, so that's I think a Boston legal law. It was Ally McBeal. I think it's Ally McBeal reference, but whatever it was. I was like, no, you know what? Actually, 11 minutes ago you said this, but then before that you said that. So what is it over here? And it's just that I find, I'm sure everyone here will agree with me, the process of creating art, it actually helps you to take the manic madness that's up over here and actually helps you to order it. And I invite everyone to find a way to actually find their inner artist and indulge that. And if you are not able to do it just yet, then what you might need is an opportunity to actually expose yourself to some incredible art, which brings me to our sales pitch right about now. So guys, what you need to know is that if you are looking for some art and something that will help you in your journey, something to inspire you, then all of the art that is being created tonight is available for purchase. So whenever you watch this over here, if one of the live viewers, or you watch it slightly later, just remember that you can reach out to any of our artist friends over here and you can purchase the art that you are seeing. In addition to that, you can also contact them directly via their respective social media platforms. And you'll be able to chat to them about those coveted spaces in each of their respective commission lists as well. So just remember, support the art, support the industry, keep on doing what you're doing. And I think that is as smooth a segue as we are going to get to start talking about what everyone is working on, what everyone has available. And I think that what we will do is start with my boy, Paul. Paul, what's been going on?
What has been going on? I've been doing
aside from
covers.
Aside
from what?
Are you talking to me?
No.
Sorry, what?
Well,
not
I
you,
just
fake
came back
Paul.
from the dentist. No cavities, thank God. I need to floss more. I did a variant cover for a store in Mississauga for Ice Cream Man 25, and I believe Mike did one too.
So good, man. So good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I have it here.
I love it. The Oompa Loompas, and the color scheme, like, my God, like that was
the way
you handle the striped drapery in the background, and then just like these wild colors. I just couldn't stop looking at it this morning. So very, very cool.
Thanks, man. It was quite the experiment, also because I never really paint anything like this, like really colorful and all that.
You're totally running out of that golden paint, right? You're just...
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know.
That's just stunning, man. Unbelievable.
And here's an exclusive 20 Ice Cream Man 26 that did not get approved because they didn't want clowns on it.
What?
Oh.
Yeah. So there's a peak for everybody. But
Really cool.
I'm also doing a cover for Becca Kinsey, who I feel like a few of you know here. This is for her book, Gehenna Death Valley. I have it better on my iPad. Here. Oops. It's a hand grasping or like degloving. Does everybody know what degloving is?
Oh yeah, it's
yeah.
Nasty stuff.
And then she might do it in black and white, which has like a little bit of a retro old like movie look.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Insanely awesome.
Now I can't unthink about degloving.
Yeah. Deglove.
Well,
I found out about it, like, gross.
It sounds dirtier than it really is.
Is that one that you had to look up reference for, and you were just like, "Oh, nice."
Yeah. Well, I follow a few like medical accounts on Instagram, so every now and then I find a gross degloving kind of thing.
Oh yeah. My brother and my dad are ER docs, and so family dinners are all about either showing pictures or talking about it.
Oh wow. Take a look at this selfie with me and this patient.
My brother be like, oh, take a look at this thing. This guy was on a motorcycle accident. I'm just like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
No. That's my hand holding what was his hand.
Yeah. Exactly.
Ew.
No, I can't process
There is a thing that I am now vividly aware of called depantsing as well. So like,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Don't worry about that. I'm still drinking coffee, guys. Stop.
Don't do that, guys. Don't do it.
Pick any article of clothing and put a DE in front of it.
yeah.
Except that debriefing does not mean the same thing. So, haha. Spoil.
Debrief.
Oh no, magical stuff, Paul. Magical stuff. And also, I love how you managed to achieve the juxtaposition we were alluding to earlier when I was slobbering all over the place. I actually can see the difference between.
I'm glad you picked that up.
Merci. Right? So anyway, okay, so just to say hello to Mingsu, I think that is. Thank you for joining us, and also to Karine Benz. And everyone's loving the dragons. Like I said, guys, just remember that you will be able to see all the completed artworks on the ArtChimp channel. And from there, you'll be able to link over to each of the respective artists' platforms as well. All righty then. So let us turn our attention once more to Johnny Boy. What are you working on?
Well, I just finished up stuff for a big secret project that I'm still not allowed to share anything about. And now I am doing some other stuff on another part of big secret project I'm not allowed to share anything about. And then what else have I been doing? I've been working on various commissions for various people. I have a couple that I'll probably be posting this week that I like to wait. A lot of people, when they commission me, they want the surprise to see the final piece when they receive it. In other words, they don't want me to post it on social media. They want to wait until they get it, and then like they want that to be the first experience of seeing it. So I have like 3 in a row that were like that. One of them was a Frazetta homage. I've been working on that one for quite a while, and he really didn't want me to share anything about it. So, and then what's the other one? Just various stuff like that. I've got a couple of things upcoming that are Captain America and Deathlock, and I think I showed you guys earlier a Ghidorah that I'm finishing up, and then what else? I don't know, just various stuff. Always working on too many things at the same time.
Stack up like sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, but are you feeling slightly just anxious about the commissions? Because I know, like, when we were speaking of, I think in the episode or 2 back, you were saying that, okay, things are, you're feeling the pressure because, you were slightly behind. So are things settling down a little bit? In other words, will people watching this later be able to get themselves a spot on a list?
Yeah, I'm probably not going to be. I have 2 conventions, or technically 3, that are almost back to back to back, and both of them are kind of larger, like Dragon Con, which is a really big convention here.
Probably like the 3rd or 4th, top 5 for sure.
Yeah, it's easily top 5, and then Awesome Con, which is in DC, and then Orlando, and they're literally almost, I think there's a week between each of them.
No, there's only 1 week between. In 4 weeks there are 3 of them, because I'm doing most of them with you.
Right. So what he said. Yeah. So anyhow, I don't think I'm going to be taking them until after Dragon Con, which is the first week of September. I think I'm just going to be too busy leading up to all those. So.
Maybe it's the head that wears the crown, indeed. Righty then. So then, Tony, of course, I mean, you have that busy schedule coming up, but what's been going on in the world of Tony?
Well, I will be releasing my webcomic about the first issue of the webcomic about the Japanese American
yes.
Italian. So I've been working on that. That's a full mixed media watercolor extravaganza and getting that done. I want to have it launched before I do the first show that Dan and I will be in, which is middle of August, MegaCon in Orlando. So I'm trying to get it all done and ready and pushed out for that. So that's
it's amazing. Like it really is amazing, guys. I've gotten to preview some of it, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah. So
awesome. That's exciting. How many pages is the first one?
Well, it's a webcomic, so you're scrolling for. It's hard to tell.
Oh,
yeah, it's almost it's done in a what is it? Korean comics that are done that way?
Oh, it's going to be on Webtoons, so it's targeted for the mobile phone right now or a tablet. Oh, okay. So you basically scroll vertically to read it. But I've painted every single panel separately and then composited it. So if I ever decide to do it in a traditional, I just have to redo the paneling and everything else. I'll still have the original art. So that's also been a little bit larger or a little bit more time consuming because you're not just doing like a small quick panel. Everything's like a decent shot. So.
But now that the project is on the cusp of all of us. I know that a little while back we saw previews of it, but now that the project is on the cusp of being introduced to the world, how are you feeling about it? Because I remember you were saying that you were experiencing a little bit of low-key anxiety up there about are you going to be able to do it justice and all of that. So are you slightly more settled now? You're doing better?
Well, since I've shown to just a select few people, like it's helping me kind of get over that. It's still one of those things where, all right, you just gotta. It's kind of like bring me back to the first time I went to a convention with art. It was like, okay, well, now I'm showing this to the world. Like everyone could tell me this sucks, but you kind of have to just throw yourself out there. Writing is something I've always been, it's much easier to critique than to do.
Boy, isn't that the truth?
Yeah, right. So that is something where I'm constantly still going back to some of the earlier panels I did. I was like, I'm changing some of the words, just modifying it, rephrasing things, and so it's a challenge. But ask me afterwards, and I'll let you know.
I probably will. You forgive me, my brother. The reason why I ask is because you see, I think that for many people who watch these streams, either live or a little while later, I think that a lot of people take some solace in realizing that, hey, you know what, these guys and these girls and everyone in between, gifted as they are, they're still really human. They still experience doubt. They still experience anxiety and fear. And every time, like, even though everything that you guys are creating live in front of the presently watching audience and everyone who watches later is, of course, a masterpiece, the fact that, still human about it, I like to showcase that part as well. So you forgive me for, being there with you, but I just thought that would be a nice thing to share.
No, absolutely. I totally get it. And, I think that's being artist is part of being an artist is putting yourself out there and being a little bit human.
Yeah. You're not an artist unless you suffer from imposter syndrome.
Yeah. So
does that ever go away? I'm still waiting for the.
No, not really.
No.
Yeah.
No matter what everyone tells you, like I think it's still always there.
Yeah.
And there we have, of course, at the uncouth one. Right? So Mike, what are we doing up there? I'm seeing Viking horns and helmets. I'm loving it. Talk us through it.
This is Granamir the Dragon from the Masters of the Universe.
Yes.
So I was hoping he was going to show up in the Netflix thing that was on this week, but he didn't. And we'll see. Maybe he will. But I love this dragon and
the helmet wearer.
Yeah, he's like out of shape. He's the smartest guy in the world. He has all the stuff he needs, and he's got a Viking helmet for some reason. I just, it's hard to get away from some things, and I just love this character. I love the story that he appears in, and I'm trying to ink him in the way that he appeared in the original mini comics that came with the toys. That might have been drawn by Alfredo Wakala, that one, but he had a real, linear, like detaily style, and I kind of wanted to draw all the scales on this guy. And I'll probably go in with some watercolor afterwards, and I'm not sure if I'm going to go with the original mini comics bright greens, or if I'm going to paint him like he was in the original Filmation cartoon, where he was kind of like a reddish purple. So I'm not really sure, but we'll see when I get there. I thought I would have him holding the power sword, like maybe he's contemplating, being the master of the universe. But then also, I kind of thought it'd be fun to have him just holding an iPhone, reading the reviews about the.
That's
great. But
hashtag RIP Kevin Smith's integrity. You know when you said that you were wishing that you could have seen him in the series, I was like, you mean like the way everyone else wished they could have seen He-Man in the series? But then I was like, oh, too soon.
That's fired. Yeah.
I do want to spend just take a few minutes towards the end, just chatting about Revelations. But very, very quickly for us, Mike, you were talking about at the moment super busy, and you are but you're still working on Dodge. But what else is going on your side?
So I've been working on Dodge. I'm drawing the third issue of that. But I've been kind of clobbered with cover deadlines lately. So I just finished one for IDW, my second Last Ronin cover, Last Ronin 4. It sold out right away, which was pretty crazy. I don't know how many they printed. I think it was only like 500 or something, but that sold out really quick, and that was fun. Anytime I get to draw anything Ninja Turtles, it's a tremendous thrill for me, and it feels like a huge honor every time. So I hope I get to do it again one day. And I just knocked out a cover for a new Image series. I don't know if that's been announced yet or if I can talk about it, but maybe next time I'm on, I'll be able to show you the artwork from that. And I'm waiting to hear approval from Aftershock on a couple of covers. They've had me pretty busy doing they do these kind of live weekly events called Happy Hour, where they kind of just talk about their new comics that are coming out, and they have interviews with creators and stuff, and I've been doing some covers that have been debuting on that weekly show. So I have a couple of those on deck right now. But all these things are always due at once at the same time, and it's just a bit of a tricky thing to manage sometimes. But yeah, I'm really glad I dropped in with you guys today, because I was thinking I was going to have to miss it. I just love drawing this dragon. He's ridiculous. He's just this ridiculous, out of shape dragon with a Viking helmet. I just think he's great.
Yeah. So we'll say Mike sounds like Jordan Peterson, Canadian Kermit the Frog and everything. I'm not sure, but okay. You got a fan involved. You got a fan involved here, Mike. Okay. So and of course, Jesse, I know earlier that you said that you're not allowed to talk about the stuff that you're currently working on, but I would be remiss in my duty if I did not actually try just to coax a little bit from you, in terms of, okay, what are you currently working on? Is there anything you can share with us?
Alas, I'll have to be the party pooper and say, maybe if you invite me back a year from now, I might be able to speak about what I'm working on, but I can't really, I'm afraid.
It's a Netflix show.
Fine, you're invited. You're from
all right. We'll save company. Well, I don't know why you're talking about next year. We do this every month, right? I don't know if this is an annual engagement or something, but we're here every month. So I'm not sure what you're up to. But but guys. I mean, once again, it is always a privilege and a pleasure to hang out with you guys. I know that we are going to get into a slightly hot topic, which is why I'm doing all the pleasantries now. You're all legends and all of that stuff, but I must warn you that what you say on the next topic of discussion will veritably shape the way everyone here in Africa looks at you. So, with that being said, by the power of Grayskull, what is wrong with Kevin Smith? Let me just preface this by saying, right? I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought that it was an awesome story. There were some character design choices that wouldn't have done it that way, but then, hey, you know what? I'm here, me in Africa, and not a pro, so that's not going to matter. But I'm not happy with the way Kevin Smith dealt with the fans. Like, all the stuff that's reviewed in the media, I think that, that could have been dealt with slightly differently, discussed.
Yeah.
I
think aside from that, I'm going to say one thing, and then, so there was a moment when I flashed right out of the first episode and went back just to see if it was actually called He-Man or if it was called Masters of the Universe, and it was totally called Masters of the Universe. Mm-hmm. So that was the one that I was like, oh, okay, now I'm okay with it. They didn't call it He-Man.
Holy hell, yeah, you're right. It's Masters of the Universe Revelation.
Yep.
Nowhere in it does say He-Man.
Nowhere does it say He-Man. Yep.
I will say that the first trailer looked very He-Man to me. That's what I thought it would be like.
Yeah, I think a lot of people thought it was going to be He-Man.
I think you're right.
The bait and switch. The old bait and switch.
Yeah,
I
didn't see the trailer, so I thought it was a daring decision to go that direction.
Yep. Same.
I was like, all right, I commend you for that and sticking with your guns and pushing that. So
I miss the days when you could not like something though and be vocal about how maybe you didn't like something. Like I wanted to love it. The trailer made me excited about it, and then the way the 5th episode ended, I was like, okay, they could just end it here now, and that would be great, and that would be fine. Just leave everyone burning and writhing on the frying pan.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was very much like, this is. I don't know. I don't want to be too critical of it because, like I said, I'm a huge fan of the subject matter and everything, but I guess it's just I kind of miss the days when you could just not like something and then also not be a hater. The two things could be separate because I didn't attack the film. I just didn't love it. It kind of left me feeling like, and I could have done without that. Like it didn't reward me in the way that I hoped it would, and that's fine. But I kind of mentioned that, and all of a sudden I was kind of lumped in with the haters of the book. I don't think that hating something and not liking something are quite the same. So anyway, I didn't love it, but I didn't particularly like it. But it was nice to see some of my favorite toys get a little bit of screen time that they didn't have in the original show. I could nitpick it all day long. And for me, it's always little things that bother me. And that's true with the MCU. That's true with anything that gets going from page to screen. But little things always eat me alive, like Piranha, But I don't know. I watched it. I went through it, and it was fine.
I completely agree with everything you just said. Yep. I liked it. It was not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
And I was really jazzed about it whenever I even saw the first trailer. I agree. It looked very He-Man, and I was expecting He-Man. And then it was not He-Man. It was definitely Masters of the Universe. Which, as I said, after I went back and looked at it, I was like, okay, I'm okay with it now because I can distance myself from it being, nostalgia. It's not a nostalgia trip. It's definitely something else.
Yeah, very true, very, very true. Look, for me, and I understand what everyone is saying about being lamb-based just for expressing an opinion. I had no real problem. The first time I watched it twice now, just because after I watched it, then I went and watched the reviews and I saw how everyone was upset about it. And I was like, wait, should I have been upset about this? So I watched it again, and then after that I was like, okay, no, I'm not upset about the thing itself. I'm a Kevin Smith fan. I'm a fanboy for Kevin, but I was just a bit disappointed with how he dealt. But the thing that got me was some of the characterizations actually didn't make sense. In the sense that the one gripe I had was Tila. Because, okay, I mean, it says in every episode, in the old one, to protect the secrets of Castle Grayskull. I mean, every superhero knows that, okay, listen, don't tell people who you are, because I was getting a bit gangster over there. So don't tell people who you are because your family's going to get involved or people are going to take you as a hostage. And, read any issue of Spider-Man, and you understand why you shouldn't be sharing your secret identity. Tila should have got that. I mean, the dude is dead, and then she's busy guilt-tripping him for not sharing the secret. And I'm like, oh.
She literally journeys to heaven to see the person that she's mourning the most. And then when she gets there, she's mad at him. I was like, oh, man. Wow.
I'm like, wow, that's like how do you
like
carry
real
a
life.
match? You know, but you know what? I actually had an ex like that. Like she would journey to the depths of hell to meet me there and still be like, you know what? By the way, you were wrong. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's my feedback. You know,
I told you
but,
so.
I told you so. I told you so. You know, but you know what? You know what, guys?
We dated the same girl?
Say again?
Yeah, we dated the same girl? That sounds familiar.
You know what? I was gonna make a comment over there, but this is still very much a family show. I will tell you guys. I will tell you guys the group, right? But yeah, this girl in particular, I mean, like she may very well have dated you because she dated pretty much everyone else as well. Oh. Okay. Do I sound accidentally a little bitter? Do I sound accidentally a little bitter? No, I digress. But anyway, my friends, those of you who joined us live on the stream, thank you so much for your time and your attention. We love doing this. We love that you come with us on this journey while we do this. I am definitely not eating sugar while I'm doing streams again because my brain is backfiring in like 7 different directions. Normally, my brain just backfires because of the sheer awesomeness that is the art that is created here live before you. Now, once again, I take the opportunity to remind you that you have been watching the special stream brought to you by ArtChimp, powered by our friends at Comic-Con Africa. And of course, none of this is possible without the time and the effort and the energy, and of course, the support of all of my amazing artist friends over here tonight. Now, the way you can show your thanks and the way you can show your support is, of course, by going and purchasing this art. So all of the art that you have seen over here tonight is available for purchase. We're going to pop some links down below. You'll be able to go to the ArtChimp Instagram, and from there we have links to all of these artists. You'll be able to see the completed artworks slightly later tonight or first thing tomorrow morning, just depending on the time zone differences. That being said, we do realize that we are living in the middle of a plague. So for some of us, we may be a little cash strapped. Well, there is no excuse not to support. You can show your support by liking, sharing, subscribing, and doing all of that crazy stuff as well. Just remember, just because you might not have dollars in your pocket, it does not in any way, shape, or form mean that you cannot actually forward the message and refer the sale to somebody who actually might. So with that being said, my friends, thank you so much for joining me. And of course, we will have another stream coming up next month. Details will come up with our friends at Comic-Con Africa. On the topic of Comic-Con Africa, do not forget that this Thursday, we are having our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles quiz. It is absolutely free with prizes sponsored by our friends at Mode. So we're going to have a rollicking time with that. I'll see you guys promptly at 7 p.m. on Thursday here on YouTube. And until then, just be sure to like, share, subscribe, follow, do all of that stuff. And I'll chat to you guys soon. Say bye-bye, everyone.
Bye,
everyone.
Bye. See you later, guys. Thanks for
watching.
Hasta la pasta.
Hasta. What? Like, no little piece. Okay.
I was trying something new.
Test it out here before you test it out on Pink Road.
All right. How's everybody's dragon look?
Oh, okay, I'll show you mine.